For 4 years Christine Flack has been in the dark about why daughter Caroline was charged with assaulting her boyfriend against the advice of prosecutors. But the determined mum's tireless campaigning to get to the truth took a step closer after the Independent Office of Police Conduct urged the Met to reopen its investigation into the case against the tragic TV star. The watchdog has recommended the force's Directorate of Professional Standards interview an officer who was at Caroline's 2019 arrest, shortly before she killed herself. He was said to have been involved in the move to overrule the CPS decision to only issue the Love Island host with a caution for attacking Lewis Burton. But the unnamed officer was not compelled to give evidence for initial reviews into police conduct as he had left the force. He has since returned to duty. Christine was told last month the officer about the development. She said last night, "We won't stop until we get the truth." The Met last year apologized to Caroline's family after admitting officers did not record why they appealed against the CPS caution. Christine added, "Something very unusual happened to Carrie at the police station that night, but no one kept a proper record explaining why. I have now made a complaint to compel the officer to give the statement we think he should have given 4 years ago. As a family, we have been left with important unanswered questions." Christine also revealed she has been urging Met Commissioner Mark Rowley for a meeting, but has been unsuccessful. She said, "He has refused to speak to me. Now it's time the Met gave us full disclosure." The unnamed officer's missing account of events is understood to be viewed as an outstanding line of inquiry. In a separate interview with April's Byline Times, Christine said, "It is a big gap in our understanding of one of the most important moments in the whole thing. It has left us as a family in a terrible, stressful position. It is time he cleared it up, so we can get some justice for Carrie." Caroline took her own life aged 40 on February 15, 2020, just months after her arrest in December 2019. Police had arrived at her North London flat after Lewis dialed 999, claiming his girlfriend had been trying to kill him while he was asleep and that he had suffered a cracked head. Officers found Caroline had self-harmed, and she was taken to hospital for a psychiatric assessment but deemed fit for interview. Prosecutor Alison Wright later said the star should be cautioned. But her decision was appealed by officers and overturned. She wrote in her report, "The police claim I have taken a biased view of the case because Caroline Flack is a celebrity. She should be and in my opinion is being treated exactly the same as any other suspect." Days after Caroline was charged with assault, she stepped down from Love Island and another show she had already recorded for Channel 4 was cancelled. It sent her into a one-way spiral of despair. Coroner Mary Hassel said at her inquest in August 2020 Caroline had been experiencing fluctuating ill health and distress and added, "I find the reason for her taking her life was she now knew she was being prosecuted for certainty, and knew she would face the media, press, publicity. It would all come down upon her." Christine said that while she fully appreciates domestic violence needs to always be taken seriously, the alleged assault involving her daughter was far from that. She added, "I don't believe Caroline was treated as anyone else would have been." A review by the IOP into the circumstances around Caroline's arrest did not identify any misconduct in the Met's decision to issue charges when it reported findings last February. But it tasked police to apologize to her family for the absence of records. The IOP said last night, "We received a complaint referral from the Met Police on March 7 relating to a number of allegations about the force's investigation into a reported assault involving Caroline Flack in December 2019. On the basis there may be new witness evidence available, we returned one aspect of the complaint back to the Met to investigate. This relates to the actions of officers in appealing an initial decision by the Crown Prosecution Service not to charge Ms. Flack. The CPS subsequently reconsidered its advice and authorized a criminal charge. A Met spokesman said of Christine's complaint, "While we are not discussing specifics, any officer in the Met, regardless of whether they left the Met and later rejoined, who is subject to a complaint would be expected to provide an account." The officer mentioned wants to make it clear he would offer every assistance as required. On Christine's failed bid to speak to Mr. Rowley, he added, "The Commissioner wrote to Mrs. Flack in March last year, offering his condolences for her loss and acknowledging how distressing her daughter's death must have been." In his letter, he explained that the appropriate avenues for addressing Mrs. Flack's complaints had now been exhausted, including consideration by the IOP. Accordingly, there are no plans for a meeting. The Met last night did not respond to requests for comment over the IOP's recommendation on the case. If you're struggling and need to talk, the Samaritans operate a free helpline open 24/7 on 116 123. Alternatively, you can email joe@samaritans.org or visit their site to find your local branch. Follow Mirror Celebs on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Threads.